sees the means of production, and the like and subscribe button. What I think is happening here on a broader level, right, is that, okay, let's go back to first principles here. Why does America support Israel so doggedly, right? Because they're an extension of our military power in the Middle East. We use them as a check against Iran. We use them as a lever for local power, right? And we tolerate their political quirks and destabilizing tendencies because A, it's convenient to us in like an arms deal kind of way, and B, that's the price of entry when it comes to using them as a military base, right? Yes, also it's good to use the evangelical support for Israel on account of the whole doomsday prophecy bit, you know? The idea that evangelicals have that Jews need to control the Holy Land in order for the rapture to begin. So there are a variety of reasons for our continued support of Israel. And I think those reasons have been getting whittled away at for a little while. For one, it seems like the effect that Israel has had in the Middle East has been a little bit more deleterious than expected, right? Like, they have destabilized past the point of usefulness to us, at least by some metrics. So it's possible that from like a logistical end, like in terms of using them as a forward base, they might not be worth the trouble as much. When it comes to the support for evangelicals, yeah, don't get me wrong, that's still a huge part of it. But when the f has Trump ever cared about that? Also, there is a kind of post-religiosity to this right, isn't there? This version of the Republican Party certainly isn't very like committed to Christianity as like an ideology. I mean, they never really have been, but I think they've been flirting a little bit more with like post-religiosity. Trump, for example, does not flout his Christianity as much as he used to, right? Like in his first term, he would Bible thump more often than he does now. I think that in a way, the cult of MAGA has replaced the Christian cult in a dogmatic sense, where like what you really need, of course, isn't like Christianity. What you need is like a metaphysical pretext for believing certain things, and you can achieve that without religion. Also, to a large extent, like we aren't on as bad of terms with the rest of the Middle East as we used to be, right? Like obviously there's Saudi Arabia, which we get along with pretty well, but Iran and Russia also have a close relationship, and this administration is pretty pro-Russia, at least kind of, more so than previous administrations. We're less consistent in our allegiances when it comes to foreign policy. So we just might not be as willing to front Israel, whatever the reasons are. And I'm waffling because I don't know what's going on in the back end, but it is an undeniable fact that over the past less than a month, like the past few weeks, the Trump administration has been openly signaling a disinterest in Israel. You know, the shift has been enormous. And I think that this is a symbolic gesture of that to an extent, you know? Not enough to pressure them about Gaza, though, right? No. I don't think Trump cares about the Palestinians. This isn't about humanitarianism from his end or something. I think that Trump probably doesn't like being slighted. I think that powerful people have told Trump, people from the MIC, establishment Republicans, have told Trump, you got to be nice to Netanyahu. He's a very good ally to the United States. But Netanyahu is probably like personally grating and demanding. He's a belligerent piece of shit. Previous U.S. presidents have said that. That's not new, right? So between him being unlikable, Trump not having anyone around to guide him or be like a voice of reason in his ear or whatever, genuinely, it might just be like he's shifting away from them. And now we got a hostage after 19 months. That is crazy. Oh, Trump's also publicly signaled opposition to the most recent Israeli threat, Netanyahu's threat, which is that they will re-engage in an offensive in Gaza and reoccupy it and assimilate it fully if Trump doesn't let them strike Iranian nuclear facility. Remember that one from like a week ago? So belligerent, man. So arrogant. Oh yeah, we're just going to keep doing war and kill people forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Like, unless you let us prove that we're still worth investing in by starting war with Iran. I don't know. That one was spurred by IDF top brass begging Trump to intervene too. The internal forces are tearing the Israeli Knesset apart. IDF's top brass hope Trump intervenes and prevents massive new Gaza operation. Yeah, the Netanyahu like war cabinet coalition has been on shaky ground for a long time. It's possible that like breaking with Trump might actually do it in. It is extremely funny, though, that Biden was the best ally Netanyahu ever could have had. He defended him relentlessly. Biden lied for Israel's benefit constantly. Biden's ideologically Zionist, not just Zionist by circumstance. And Biden worked hard to liberalize Zionism and the Israeli, by making it like a common cause, right? But Netanyahu wanted Trump to win, and look what he's getting. Yeah, buyer's remorse. Yeah, it probably also doesn't help that Trump is very susceptible to Gulf state bribery. Like, he just got that $400 million Qatari plane. And all of those countries, like Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, don't like Israel. Partly for, like, ethnic reasons, because they're Arab and obviously, it's Israel-Muslim relations, so on and so forth. But also because they would prefer that the power base in the region be determined by them and their like petrostate influence and not by Israel and their like psychotic ethno-nationalist threaten the world with nuclear Armageddon if they get invaded influence. You get me, right? It's just weird. Also, the people of those countries get really pissed off if those governments didn't oppose Israel. Yeah. And so it's funny that he dropped the like prerequisite for Saudi Arabia to recognize Israel. There's just a lot of, I don't know. Yeah, I look forward to Schumer calling Trump an anti-Semite or something. Which, to be fair, he definitely is, but you know what I mean. Like, look at these article titles, man. Yeah, Trump repeatedly bypasses Netanyahu, stoking dismay among Israelis. Disagreements on Iran, Gaza, straining Trump-Netanyahu relationship. Daylight with Israel, Trump style. Trump's Middle East visit leaves Netanyahu watching from the sidelines again. They got him in the cuck chair. Israel's worried about any deal Trump might strike with Iran. Remember, Netanyahu explicitly wants war with Iran. If Trump strikes any kind of deal with Iran, it will become incredibly difficult for Israel to do to engage militarily. Trump strains relationship with Netanyahu as Middle East policy increasingly isolates Israel. How can we understand the Trump-Gaza insanity stuff? I don't think it's that difficult to understand. Trump sees that there's conflict in a region, so he says he wants to be the biggest peacemaker of all time, go in there and put a big golden statue up. Like, he just likes real estate and deal making. He doesn't personally care about really anything within the region, apart from just being generally, like, racist, of course. Anyway, I've got to go. It's 1:30. Sorry. It's a wild string of developments, folks. It really is. Yeah, I don't know. Genuinely, I have no idea how it's all going to pan out. I have no clue. Pretty weird. See you guys tomorrow. Gotta go get my haircut.